Welcome to Fun Facts Daily, your source for just the good stuff. Monday through Friday, we're bringing fun facts and news you can use, all carefully curated to uplift and inform. So give yourself a break, relax, and learn something awesome in just a few minutes every day. Hi everyone, I'm Kyle Wood, and today we're going to be learning all about Guinness World Records. Now, this one is actually a fan request, so thanks for the suggestion, Samuel. I hope you enjoy the episode, and anyone else who's listening, if you want to suggest a topic for a future episode, just leave a comment on Spotify or email funfactsdailypod@gmail.com. Now, as always, before we get into the facts, let's warm up our brains with a little challenge to see if you can tell fact from fiction. Consider this. The Guinness Book of World Records has documented thousands of record-breaking achievements by others, but would you believe the book itself can actually hold an interesting title? Some law enforcement and library administrators claim that this reference book is stolen from their shelves more often than any other book. Supposedly, the high theft rate occurs because patrons want to keep the book to plan their own record attempts at home. What do you think? Are fans of the Guinness Book of World Records unintentionally creating some criminal records? We'll find out at the end of the episode. Now for your word of the day. Our word for today is superlative. That's superlative. A superlative is a word that expresses the highest degree of equality. Superlatives form the foundation of pretty much every category in the Guinness Book of World Records. When we talk about the tallest, the fastest, the longest, or the heaviest, we're using superlative words to describe the extremes of human achievement or natural phenomena. Without these words, it would be impossible to categorize or measure the feats recorded in the Guinness database. The word superlative entered the English language in the late Middle English period. It comes from the late Latin word superlativus, which combined the prefix super, meaning beyond, and latus, meaning carried. So a superlative is literally carried beyond normal limits. Time for your daily high five, our top 5 fun facts about Guinness World Records. Number 1. The very first Guinness Book of Records was commissioned by a brewery to resolve bar bets. In 1951, Sir Hugh Beaver attended a hunting party in Ireland. Beaver served as the managing director of the Guinness Brewery. During the trip, he and his companions debated whether the golden plover or the red grouse was the fastest game bird in Europe. Beaver searched through reference libraries but couldn't confirm the answer in any existing reference book. This gap in available information sparked an idea for a collection of verifiable facts and figures. And Beaver realized that debates like this were occurring in pubs all over the United Kingdom, so he got help from some researchers, Norris and Ross McWhirter. The twin brothers ran a fact-finding agency in London. Beaver told them to compile the first edition of the Book of Records. The brewery printed and distributed 1,000 copies free of charge to promote their business, and the book eventually spread beyond bars and became a commercial success, prompting the creators to update it and print a new edition every year. Number 2. A man named Ashrita Furman has set over 700 official Guinness World Records throughout his lifetime. Ashrita Furman began his record-breaking journey in 1979 by performing 27,000 jumping jacks. He manages a health food store in New York, but dedicates quite a bit of his spare time to breaking records on all 7 continents. His attempts range from balancing a bicycle on his chin to traveling a long distance with a milk bottle on his forehead. Furman trains for each attempt, practicing for months to condition his body for these physical challenges. Now, if you're wondering why he's carried out so many stunts to break so many records, he said he just wants to demonstrate the capacity of the human spirit. Because competitors are constantly breaking records, the total number of titles Furman holds can fluctuate from year to year, but generally, he maintains ownership of about 200 records in any given time. The Guinness organization officially recognized him as the individual with the most world records in 1987. While Furman may have the most world records to his name, he's not the only one who's broken multiple world records. There's actually kind of a subculture of professional record breakers who monitor the database for new categories. As of the time of this recording, Furman holds the records in categories involving pogo sticks, juggling, and obstacle courses. Number 3. The Guinness World Records book currently holds a world record itself. It's the best-selling copyrighted book in history. Since its publication in 1955, the book has sold well over 150 million copies. Publishers translate the text into 22 languages every year. They distribute the copies in over 100 different countries. And this commercial consistency allows the book to surpass pretty much any other copyrighted work, including fictional franchises and reference encyclopedias. In fact, the only books that have sold more copies are non-copyrighted texts like the Bible and the Quran. Every year, they publish a new edition just before the winter holiday season. The editorial team reviews tens of thousands of applications each year to select the 4,000 records featured in the print edition. And over the years, the book has evolved from a text-heavy reference manual to settle bar debates into a much more visually oriented and kid-friendly book filled with lots of beautiful photographs. And if the 4,000 records in the book aren't enough for you, the organization also maintains an online database containing more than 50,000 additional verified records. Number 4. The organization receives more than 50,000 record applications every year, but they reject about 95% of them. Attempting a world record requires navigating a big mess of bureaucracy established by the Guinness management team. People can't just declare that they broke a record. It all has to be carefully documented and verified. Applicants have to submit a proposal detailing their intended record and wait several weeks for category approval. Once the organization approves a category, they provide a set of guidelines that participants have to follow during the attempt. These guidelines mandate the presence of independent witnesses, video documentation, and measuring equipment operated by professionals. Failing to meet just a single technical requirement results in immediate disqualification. Now, if you're wondering why there's such a high rejection rate for these records, it comes down to a combination of factors, but primarily safety concerns and the ability to measure everything. The organization refuses to monitor records related to animal cruelty, medical procedures, or any sort of illegal activities. And they retired categories related to binge eating and sleep deprivation due to the health risks posed to the participants. Even successful attempts may not appear in the printed book due to space limitation, but all individuals who pass the verification process do receive a certificate confirming their achievement. And our fifth and final fun fact for today: the record for the tallest human in history has remained unbroken since 1940, and it'll probably never change. Robert Wadlow of Alton, Illinois, reached a verified height of 8 feet and 11 inches before he passed away. His growth resulted from hypertrophy of his pituitary gland, which produced a high level of human growth hormone. Wadlow required custom-made clothing and shoes. Companies provided these items for him in exchange for promotional tours. Medical professionals documented his height, providing the evidence required for the historical record. Modern medical advancements make it unlikely that competitors will ever surpass Wadlow's record. Doctors monitor children for growth patterns and can intervene with surgery or medication to regulate pituitary gland function. These treatments halt conditions leading to extreme gigantism before a person reaches 8 feet in height. Wadlow's height was a biological anomaly that just happened to come in that historical window where doctors were able to monitor and measure him for verifiable records, but it was before modern endocrinology, so they weren't really able to help him or put a stop to it. So his legacy will likely remain in the Guinness database as one of the few records that's almost impossible to break. Now for some news you can use. If you want to set a Guinness World Record yourself, a good strategy is to invent a specific niche instead of competing in popular categories. Let's face it, you're not very likely to break the record for the fastest marathon, but you might attempt the fastest marathon while dressed as an animal or while dribbling a basketball. By combining some unexpected elements, you narrow the pool of competitors from thousands of athletes down to just a handful of hobbyists. So think of what skills you have that you could combine in a way that no one else has ever considered. Of course, thinking of that record is just the first step. You have to submit an application for a new record category directly to the Guinness organization. The category has to adhere to their guidelines of being measurable, objective, and standardizable so that others can challenge it in the future. But by inventing the category, you get to set the baseline time or quantity. This makes you the default world record holder upon your first attempt. So remember, athletic dominance is just one path to success in the world records. You can also use world-class strategy to get your name in the books. Finally, the moment you've been waiting for. At the beginning of the episode, I asked, is it true the Guinness Book of World Records is the most stolen book from public libraries? It would appear that's a fact. The Guinness organization officially recognized their own publication as the most stolen library book in the United States. The thefts occurred so frequently that many public libraries actually started keeping their copies of the book behind the reference desk. This requires patrons to give over their ID cards while reading the book. While other stolen items include driver's education manuals and exam prep books, the Guinness Book of Records maintains the top position due to its demand and universal appeal. Now, I hope you enjoyed learning a bit about Guinness World Records with me today. Be sure to tune in every weekday for even more fun facts. Fun Facts Daily is an Airwave Media podcast. It was written, recorded, mixed, and edited by me, Kyle Wood. Thanks for sharing a part of your day with me. Be sure to follow Fun Facts Daily on your favorite podcast app so you can keep the good stuff coming your way every day. And if you like the show, please do me a favor and leave a kind rating, review, or just tell your friends about it.